Hello, everybody. So I did get up for the Saturday challenge here this morning, and so this is the Rhinos build that I cooked up. And it just seems to me that the way the metagame is shaking out, that maybe blue decks are taking off here, or that's going to be my theory anyway. I mean, a couple weeks ago, it was a lot of like mono black scam decks, and since then, we're just seeing a lot of control decks and Delver and whatnot with these LOTR cards. So I think, blue decks seem strong, whereas pre-LOTR, after the EI ban, blue didn't seem as good as it used to be. And so, but the way the metagame's shaking out after LOTR, I think blue decks are better. That's the theory anyway, so we're going to be jamming the 4 main deck Mystical Disputes and see how it goes. So yeah, it should be about to start here, and I'll be getting into it in a moment. Alright, so we're on the draw against Cartesian, and I don't think this hand really does anything. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and mulligan. This hand does seem better. And it's just a question if I want to put back a land or Minsc and Boo. Seems like we'd be pretty likely to draw a land over the next several turns, right? On the draw. Alright, I think I'm going to put back the basic island and take my chances with that. It's a lot easier to draw more lands than it is to draw a Minsc and Boo. It's a Catacombs. I like my opponent's choice in basic land here. Invasion. We're gonna let them do their grief. Take Force Will. And reanimate. Probably taking Violent Outburst here. Yep. Okay. Well, I drew the land, and so if they don't have a crazy follow-up here, Minsc and Boo could win this game. I see, so it's the black-green deck. I'll thin my library. Alright, well we have the lands that we need, so I just need to, not draw more lands. Wow, no follow-up. Alright. Orcish Bowmasters. Alright, well here's my chance to play around. Opposition Agent. Well, I'm about to get Minsc and Boo down. Do I want to counter just anything they might do? I do have 2 Minsc and Boos. So it's not likely they can strip both of them. And this could lower the clock. Yeah, I think this is probably worth Mystical Disputing. Alright, so they're attacking and we're at 8. Are we gonna get Minsc and Boo down? Witherbloom Apprentice. Okay. Well, if they have Chain of Smog, you know, it's gonna be good for them, of course. I think I am leaving this thing on defense here. No, actually, maybe I'm not. Well, if they attack... Yeah, I guess I have another Minsc and Boo in hand, so I'm attacking. Okay, they attacked Minsc and Boo. And they just got the Chain of Smog. Alright. Well, if only I had drawn the blue card here for Force of Will, but I guess that's okay. Yeah. Alright. Alright, well, I want to bring in Endurance over Mystical Dispute. Brotherhood's End and Fury seem not bad. Don't really want to remove Minsc and Boo. Brotherhood's End seems better than Fury to me because they can't make us discard it and then reanimate it and then brick our Rhinos, the Fury. So Brotherhood's End does seem like a better sweeper. So I could maybe just trim a Fire and Ice. Alright, I'll give it a shot. Alright, well this hand is like okay, but not exciting. But we'll go ahead and suspend Rhinos on turn 1, and then work our way up to Minsc and Boo or Violent Outburst. Alright, play Misty. Don't mind fetching a basic forest. Spend Crashing Footfalls. Opponent does a basic swamp and pass. Another Crashing Footfalls. Okay. Not the best top deck. If we make it unscathed through this turn, we'll be in a pretty good spot. Dothy Voidwalker. I should have slowed down and probably fetched in response to that, but alright, well. I'd say we made it through the turn relatively unscathed, though, on the other hand. Now we can hold up Force of Negation or Violent Outburst. Yeah, we'll take 3 here. Wow, they do nothing. Well, at least we can't get our Crashing Footfalls surgically extracted very effectively. Force of Despair. Alright. Well, that's just a 1-for-1 trade, and now we get Minsc and Boo. As long as they don't untap and jam the Chain of Smog combo, I feel like we're in a pretty good spot. Alright, Boo's in there for 4. I guess what they could do is manage to destroy my Minsc and Boo, and then play with Dothy Voidwalker. That would be a good play for sure. I don't see any way I can really play around something like that. Alright, well, they have been thinking for a minute or so there. So it seems like they aren't about to jam the Chain of Smog combo, at least. Alright, we're getting some action here. Dothy Voidwalker's attacking, so they won't be stealing my Minsc and Boo this turn, at least. Attack Minsc and Boo down to 1 loyalty counter. Oh man, here's a green source. And it's a grief. Alright, so they get to take my Force of Negation. Put some triggers on the stack here. Play some Rhinos. Alright, so we'll juice Boo token. I don't see any reason to do anything else. Attack for 7. And we'll need to just fade the Chain of Smog combo for 1 more turn. Force of Despair is fine. Okay, so that would make it pretty unlikely they have the Chain of Smog combo. So they are going to attack Minsc and Boo with their grief. And then play with Dothy Voidwalker. And I just have an endurance. So I don't think there's much I can do about it, sadly. Okay. The grief has menace, so obviously I can't block it. Cabal Therapy. I mean, what are the chances they name endurance, huh? They did name Minsc and Boo. I have had it every other time. So, makes sense. Alright, they're doing the Voidwalker. I guess they do have some options, but... Oh, I see. I guess you can just play Crashing Footfalls, so maybe they're thinking about that. You can play without paying its mana cost. So they do play Crashing Footfalls. And they pass the turn. So one thing I think I want to play Endurance here, and I think I actually want to target myself and make sure I still have Crashing Footfalls in my deck in case I draw a Cascader. More than I care about their random Cabal Therapy at this point. Seagate Restoration, it does not do a whole lot. So I think the play that makes the most sense is just to pass the turn and then attack next turn. I can't really attack with Endurance right now, and then they could just double block Boo. This does give them another opportunity to Chain of Smog combo. I think I might as well play Seagate Restoration tapped, because I can just hardcast Force of Will if I draw it. Alright, the opponent is doing nothing. Simian Spirit Guide, I don't mind having that. I'm definitely going to play that after this attack here. And I'm definitely attacking as well. Well, let's see what they got. We're at least taking out one Rhino token, so that's good news. Okay, so they're going to go to 1. That works out. I'm okay with that. Do I jam Simian Spirit Guide and show them that I have nothing? I guess I'm just gonna jam the Simian Spirit Guide and hope they don't smog me here. Okay, we did get the win. All right, I think that Brotherhood's End is a reasonable sweeper. I mean, that could have been potentially good at clearing out a bunch of guys, and I definitely do want the 4th Fire and Ice. Try to take care of those Dothy Voidwalkers. So yeah, I think I'll just do this here. Yeah, trim the 3rd Endurance. Okay. All right, well, we've got a hand on a draw with a couple Cascaders, Crashing Footfalls, Force of Will. Pretty hard to mulligan any kind of reasonable hand against. You know, they're certainly going to grief me a whole bunch. There it is. All right, so they took Seagate Restoration. And here comes, nope, no Reanimate. I'll just play the Taiga and suspend Crashing Footfalls. We did draw a blue card. And probably draw another mana source in the next couple turns here. Suspend Profane Tutor. So only a little concerning. Alright, we did get there on the land. Guess I'll fetch now. I haven't seen Wasteland all game. What would really be nice is to fade Cabal Therapy for one more turn here. So it looks like we did. Orcish Bowmasters. Alright, well, I got my mana here. They can have their Bowmasters. They're gonna have their Profane Tutor's about to resolve, so they'll have their 4 cards here. Cabal Therapy is just going to be an absolute beating, unfortunately. Anyway we do it. Maybe they're going to get Cabal Therapy. But they would sort of need to have the rest of the combo in hand. But maybe they're just getting that Force of Despair. I don't know. We'll see how they want to play this here. Moving to the attack step here. Yeah, I'll take 2. I guess I could have just Violent Outbursted there and tried to force something to force over. Now that I think about it, I should have slowed down there. I guess I really want to burn these Force of Wills, so I'm hoping they Force of Despair here. Dark Ritual. Force of Despair. Yeah, I'm gonna force this pitching. Force. And try to not lose to Cabal Therapy here. Force of Negation. Okay. So I could Violent Outburst right here. So they at least don't know what's in my hand anymore for a Cabal Therapy. I think I pretty much have to Violent Outburst right here. This is going to make it harder for them to reload with another Force of Despair. Alright, they're all over me with these Bowmasters here, but that is not a problem. Okay, and they can't possibly draw the combo, and we've got Force Negation. So I think we've managed to thread the needle here after losing game 1, but I guess I don't want to, count my chickens before they've hatched. But I think I just did. Okay. Alright. That was a bit of a grind, but we got there. It wasn't a blue deck, but this is it seems like a reasonably positive matchup, and so you can maybe afford to have Mystical Disputes in the main deck. Well, it worked out this time anyway. We'll be back for round 2. Alright, round 2 on the play. This hand seems like it's probably a mulligan. Yeah, it looks like my opponent's a Maverick player, and this hand does nothing. Okay. I'll keep and put back a Minsc Boo. So it's a Windswept Heath and sack. Seems like they are on Maverick. Mobile Hierarch. Crashing Footfalls is not the best draw here. Well, I could suspend the Crashing Footfalls and then just Force of Will. Their big Chungus, if they have it. And this also sets up getting a 2-for-1 with Fire and Ice if I don't succeed, or if they don't have like a big Chungus to Force of Will. Having some mana. They untap the Savannah. Crack the Heath. Thalia. Yeah, I'm gonna Force a Will this and pray to draw land. Or any kind of mana source. Okay. So I could pick off one of their 1/1s. But then they can just kill my Minsc and Boo. So I think I have to do this. Because the Minsc and Boo goes down to 1 loyalty, and then they could just attack it with whatever I did not kill. As tempting as that is. But if they don't kill the Boo token right here, I will attack them in the head. Or I'll fling it at their head, maybe. Although if they have Swords to Plowshares, and it's a bit of a blowout. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens here with this Once Upon a Time. So they got a Verdant Catacombs off that Once Upon a Time. So they're going to attack Minsc and Boo for 2. Draw land. Well, if they want to Swords my Boo, obviously that's a plus here. And here comes the Swords. I guess I'll keep the Wooded Foothills as secret in hand. They're getting Dryad Arbor. This has been known to make my system glitch. Yeah, there it is. All right, well, sorry about the shrunken window here, but yeah, opponents getting Dryad Arbor into play is like messing with my system. It's happened a bunch now. Don't like it. But anyway, Well, this doesn't add to... they can still only attack Minsc for 2 here. Is the good news. Leaving the window shrunken seems to help. Okay, well there's the Orcish Bowmaster, so that'll do it. So what we need to do here is draw a Cascader. For some reason, having the window smaller really, I think, does seem to help. But we'll just do a little bit short of full screen. Okay. All right, they're taking out my Minsc and Boo. You got it. All right, well, a Cascader, maybe. A land. They're only attacking for 2, but they probably have some kind of follow-up here. Knight's gonna be pretty big. I will thin my library here, which have so many lands. At least we get this set of Rhinos into play. I guess Violent Outburst would be a potentially good one. Or Minsc. Shardless Agent. Alright. Alright, well we do have 20 power on board. And so they have their active Knight of the Reliquary, but we have some stuff going on too. Violent Outburst would still be a sick draw, and so would Minsc and Boo. Or another Cascader. Or perhaps just an ice to tap down this Knight with. They have like another Knight. I guess that would be good for them. Yeah, they sure do. Well, I did draw the Violent Outburst, so that's pretty sick. I guess I'm gonna think for a second like there's a difficult decision to be made here. But yeah, we're gonna attack with everything and then have more Rhinos chilling on defense. Yep. Maybe they won't make any other blocks here. Okay. I think having the Bowmaster first compared to the token, that's the only real decision to make here. And then we will have a Violent Outburst. They have a Swords to Plowshares, that's good for them. Gonna make it pretty hard to get across the finish line, but a second swords. I think they could certainly have. And an endurance. Okay. Well, they just have all kinds of stuff. A green sun for 5. Well, this is probably bad news. Fiend Artisan. Okay. And they're going to attack with an Exalted Endurance. Okay. Well, we'll take 4. Yeah, Minsc and Boo is pretty much the only thing I can think of that would really help here. If I attack with everything, they just can untap and kill me. I mean, they could easily absorb the block and then untap and kill me. Alright, they just have all the good spells here, but alright. Alright, well at this point, there's pretty much no catching up. We'll see how they want to attack. And then probably scoop it up. But yeah, if they make any kind of reasonable attack here, pretty dead. Another knight. Oh, grist. Okay. Alright, well, let's just scoop it up here. So I like the shrinking power of endurance on Knight of the Reliquary. So I want to board out like Force of Negation to make it happen. I guess so. All right. Let's give it a shot here. All right. On the play here. Dang, this hand is full of goodies, but not enough manas. And I think that this hand is going to have to do... It probably looks like putting back Force of Will. This hand is really pretty much just has Fury going on. We're pretty dependent on drawing Cascader here. Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna keep it and put back the Force of Will. I mean, the only other option after that is to really hope for a like a turn 1 Rhino hand. And yeah, I'm just gonna put back the Force of Will. Alright, turn 1 Mother of Runes. Well, there's the Violent Outburst. So Force of Will really would end up being better than Fury, sadly, because I'd rather Violent Outburst. I could take the turn off to fire this thing. Then they're probably going to play Thalia here. Dang. Yep, they sure are. Okay, well, there's a Force of Will at least. So I could Fury here. I think it's worth just keeping the Force of Will, though. At least if they want to Swords my Rhino, it's going to be 2 mana. Yeah, I'm going to be okay forcing that. And a Noble Hierarch. Alright. Well, what I'd like to do here is draw... I guess like a red card or a mana are both pretty good. Okay, well that's a red card. I'm gonna do the attack. Now I get to Fury their whole board. Okay, we got there. I don't think I want to change anything. I still like Endurance to shrink Nether Reliquary and Fiend Artisan. It's going to make the late game much more winnable. So, just going to run it back. Yep. Alright, well, we're going to be hoping to draw mana here, but I'm going to keep this double Force of Will hand. Shardless Agents. Grist. Deafening Silence. Well, what I have in hand are Shardless Agents, so I'm gonna let it go. Violent Outburst is out. Dang, that's the wrong mana. Dang, they have Wasteland. That's a bummer. Sag. I guess I'll discard a Simian Spirit Guide here. No, it doesn't. I'm probably just a long way from casting Endurance. I mean, they're a Wasteland deck. And, yeah. Okay, here we go. Still in it. Wow. Okay. Okay. Alright, well, let's just look at what we got here. So, 3 Shardless Agents and 2 Force of Wills. So, probably do just want to discard. Or, yeah, end of turn here. What are we going to discard? It's probably fine to discard a Shardless Agent. But yeah, I think I can just discard Simian Spirit Guide. If I draw like Fury or something, I may want that. And we definitely want to pitch Ice. The first pitch to a Force of Will is definitely Shardless Agent. And so I think we'll discard. It's got to be like Simian Spirit Guide or a Shardless Agent. Like, what are the chances of actually getting to play a second Shardless Agent here? A Simian Spirit Guide would really help get the second Shardless Agent to resolve. I just have all these Force of Wills. I don't think it makes sense to discard non-blue cards. Caracas. Okay. So they're jamming a Knight. I think it makes sense to burn a Force of Will on this. Not draw land. A choke. I think I just have to kind of live with a choke at this point. Boseiju. Alright, well, I'm just gonna go for it. They've got 5 cards in hand, but oh, Force of Will plus Rhinos is the plan here. I hope they don't have Swords to Plowshares. Wow. Maybe they don't. I'm gonna force this. And then what do they got here? Did it during their draw step, okay. They're at 3. Yeah, Grist doesn't really do it here. So they found the Verdant Catacombs. They play a 3-drop. That's not going to do it. I don't believe. Because they'll be at 2 life when they pay 1 life. Okay. A Plague Engineer. Does this somehow do it? I don't think so. Yeah, I'm just gonna attack. Wow. Alright, that was crazy. Can't believe it. It seemed improbable. Okay, that was wild. Alright, round 3 on the draw. So it looks like my opponent's probably a tempo player. I guess they've also played Stoneblade in the past. You can see they've got a whole bunch of tempo, some Stoneblade. This hand. I mean, it certainly plays magic and has a bunch of counter spells. So the good draws here would be a red source, spirit guides, especially the Simian variety. I'm kind of inclined to keep it. Although if they are on Delver, it could be pretty rough. That was their most recent entry on MTGO Goldfish. And this hand does play magic to some extent, so that is something about it. Just not very well balanced. Really, this hand is good against like Reanimator. That's about it. I think I am gonna mulligan. I mean, mostly it's just Force of Will, Force of Negation. Alright, I think this is a better... I just had to clear my throat there. A better looking 6. I'll put back a Minsc and Boo. Alright, we're actually playing against a blue deck, like we drew it up here. So I'm gonna have to let the Dragon's Rage Channeler go. And I think I just have to play into Wasteland here. That's Tropical Island, then Crashing Footfalls. Brainstorm from the opponent. I would definitely mystically dispute it if I could. Maybe I should have thought harder about Force of Willing the Delver. I just kind of rushed through it for no reason. Okay. Well, Mana Source isn't terrible. There's a Brainstorm. They're going to attack for 4 here. And they're just doing nothing. Okay. What I'd like to draw here is like a Spirit Guide. I guess I should have fetched on their end step. A Mystical Dispute. It's just that I don't really have time to not play Shardless Agent here, sadly. Yeah. I'm just gonna have to do it. And hope that Force of Will is somehow good enough. Force pitching Soren's Ransom. Well, it's not days at least. I think I'm just gonna force pitching the Seagate Restoration. Have some Mystical Disputes up. Okay. Well, the opponent is on empty. But they've got some boys in play. And another Dragon's Rage. Where Murktide Region would be really awesome. Yeah. I'm in a tight spot. And the Rhinos come down next turn. I suppose, I mean, Fire, I guess, is really the draw. And hope they somehow don't. There's just no way. If I draw a Fire, but that would activate. No, they don't have a sorcery. So that would not get the job done for them. Or turn these guys into 3/3s. The Delirium, that's the one. Right, we'll let these Surveil triggers resolve. Okay, well, those aren't sorceries. Fire and Ice. Nope. Well, I'll attack with Shardless Agent. There's no reason not to. Okay, and that'll give their boys Delirium. And then we'll be dead. Okay, we'll just concede. I used to feel like this Delaware matchup was pretty positive, but it's been kind of rough going of late. But these Mystical Disputes should help. So Minsc and Boo is pretty expensive. So I think I can keep the old Murky Reach off the table with the Mystical Disputes. And then we'll just try to Fury and Brotherhood's End and fire their Delvers and Bowmasters. Should work, right? Okay. So here we have a turn 1 All right. I mean, I don't love these. There's a good chance they have a Force of Will. All right. I think you just have to jam the turn one Rhinos. It seems like they probably have Force of Will. And well, they mulligan to 6, so that's a good start. Here, Seagate Restoration not being Lorien revealed, doing work. If this works, we have the old Mystical Dispute backup. Oh, they've got Force of Will. All right, well, it's gonna be tricky. If they draw lands, though, not a terrible spot. All right, Dragon's Rage. Surgical Extraction. Do I want to endurance myself to try to stop this? Lose my Shardless Agent? I guess Shardless Agent isn't that great. I guess I'm gonna do it. Like, how soon am I gonna get to cast Endurance anyway? Alright, they're dazing. Fine. It happens a lot against Delver where I'm just in this position. I always draw the turn one with no backup draw. It's kind of a bummer. Heal Spirit Guide, and against Delver, and just eat it to Force of Will. It's happened many times. Yeah, I did mulligan. I feel like Delver should be winnable, but I mean, it's not over yet. A Pyroblast, okay. Be nice to draw a land and be able to fire this DRC. Okay, well now... Well, I guess it's not flipped yet. Alright, let's draw that land here. Okay. The other thing we need to fade here is the old land into Murktide draw. And if that happens, that'll be good. Maybe I should have gotten a Volcanic Island there. Because a Wasteland's going to take me off this Mystical Dispute. Okay. Alright, we have the Mystical Disputes. Alright. So we just have to win this game with Endurance and Fury. Play Murktide. Like they might be doing that. Maybe a little force. Nice. The other mystical dispute. Well, endurance would be a good draw. Violent Outburst. Sadly, we are out of Rhinos. I mean, they did exile them all, right? Yeah. Okay, there's an endurance. Okay, we're in there. So we just need to attack for a couple turns. What do we got? Snuff out, Thoughtseize. Okay, fine with that. Take 2 damage. That's more than I would have got from playing the endurance. Simian Spirit Guide's gonna join the fun. Yeah, you can have a Delver. Mystical Dispute, that's a sick draw. Flippity flip. Wow. Alright. Alright, well, you know, who cares if you're turn 1 Spirit Guide, Rhinos gets exiled, or, you know, Force of Willed, and then Surgical. Alright, well, they're on the Surgical plan, and Brotherhood's End seems a lot worse on the draw. I am going to be bringing in the Furies and the Minsc and Boo as a way to hopefully win this game when my Rhinos get extracted. I'm just trying to think if there's any other sideboarding change I can make. And I really can't imagine making one. I mean, another Minsc and Boo, maybe, but it's probably not that good anyway. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna keep here. So this hand, what we can do is let them maybe play out some boys while they're mulliganing to 5. And then like Fury them. We got Mystical Disputes for Murktide Regent. Like we have a lot of good draws. I'm hoping not to draw more mana here. The Thoughtseize. Alright, well there goes my Fury then. We'll just be hoping to draw yeah, spells here. Wow, they took a Mystical Dispute. Interesting. That leads me to believe they're trying to jam a Murktide. Ponder. I really want to mystically dispute this. I think I just have to. Okay, well we drew another mystical dispute for their Murktide. So that's something. I guess I'm not going to play out this Seagate Restoration. Another Ponder. I think I'm just gonna Mystical Dispute it. Okay, well there's Force of Will, so we can at least just Force of Will Murktide if they play it. Fire and Ice. Brazen Borrower. Okay. Gonna let that go for now. We're getting some sirens in the background. Alright, deck, we just kind of got to draw like something here. A land. That kind of counts as something. Alright, do I want to jam this Fury now? I think I'm gonna... Alright, I think I am gonna jam the Fury. I'll keep a Simian Spirit Guide in hand, because they can waste me off green. Yep, they can brainstorm. I think if they force it, I'm just gonna have to let it go, because we lose to Murktide Regent, but then I'll just fire their Brazen Borrower. But obviously I'll pitch a Spirit Guide to counter a Daze. Okay, we're just gonna be in there. Happy with that. So maybe they're gonna play Murktide and I'll just get to force it. And then we'll be attacking with Fury. Dare I hope for something like that? Another mana, that's not scary. Petty Theft. Okay. Alright, well I guess that's a good one. DRC. Wasteland. Alright, well we can redeploy the Fury next turn. Just gonna take damage for a second here. There's a Crashing Footfalls at long last. It's not off a Cascader though. You know, I probably should have gotten... Now the Taiga was gone. Alright, I'm just gonna have to pass here. Dang. Well, these are not the most exciting draws ever, huh? All right, well, it's going to be time to Fury their Dragon's Rage Channeler. And then suspend Crashing Footfalls. And then probably just force a little their Brazen Borrower. And hope they don't have Murktide. But sadly, yeah, the draws here just were not good enough. They started out okay, but man, I just need to hit like a Cascader, but we did not hit any. I guess it's alright. We could still draw out of this. Probably not now. Well, fire would be a sick draw. Come on, deck, fire one time. No. I mean, I guess I can play Elvish Spirit Guide here. And if the Delver were to not flip, and I were to draw fire, but this game was a bummer. It's just drawing the 2 Crashing Footfalls there was brutal. Instead of Cascaders. I'm sad I could not beat Delver. I feel like I should have won that one. Alright, well, we're on the draw against Easy Money Marksman. I believe they are on some kind of Delver or Death Shadow type strategy, so maybe we can get some revenge in this round. Grief pitching Fatal Push. Alright. Taking my Force of Negation. Okay. Alright, and they're in there with Reanimate on the Grief. Taking my Spirit Guide. Makes sense. Okay. Alright, well, I'll Mystical Dispute, probably anything, and then probably try to fire the Grief, and then hopefully we can play Rhinos. Shardless Agent into Rhinos, I mean. Ponder. Yeah, I think I'm willing to Mystical Dispute pretty much anything. I don't know that I'm going to have extra mana to protect Shardless Agent later, or the Cascade in particular. They do have the Wasteland, but that makes sense. I guess I could have, there was no reason, I guess I could have just fetched Basic Island. And then I'd be able to fire this turn. So, I guess that was pretty weak. Okay, well, I drew the land. A Swamp Cycle. I guess I don't think I'll need double blue. They reanimate. Well, I guess they'll reanimate a troll if they have a reanimation spell. They don't. Mystic Sanctuary on the Grief, sure. Maybe Ponder. Really got to rip the land here. If they reanimate the troll, they'll be on very low life. So, show me a land. Take it. I'm not gonna sweat Force of Negation here too much. I'd rather have the extra power in play. Petty Theft, okay. There's the reanimate on the troll. They're down to 8. 1 card in hand. Okay, they're going to have their Petty Theft or their Brazen Borrower in play. Yeah, I'm going to attack with a Rhino. So this will take out the troll and give us a bunch more rhinos. Seems like a pretty good spot. Zoran's Ransom. So I think I'll show them Brainstorm and Grief. I'd rather not be Wastelanded. If they take Murktide plus Wasteland, I'm pretty sure we win anyway. Or I could show them Murktide and Wasteland. Them getting Murktide into play seems like a worst case scenario. Then they can't Wasteland me, so I'm just gonna do this. Dang, they had the extra land anyway. Good for them. Here's Murktide. Okay, so but we win anyway. We've got we have enough damage with another Violent Outburst, so no sweat. We have it a couple different ways with this Minsc and Boo too. Yeah, because this is going to be 8 damage. I should have played the Seagate Restoration first, I guess. But I mean, the last card is Wasteland. So yeah. And this is 8 damage. Okay. Well, I wish I had the 4th Endurance here. I cooked up this crazy sideboard plan to have... I wanted the Brotherhood's ends for Ancient Tomb decks, or Constructs in particularly. And now I don't have my 4th Endurance. 1 Force of Negation is probably okay. I don't think that this is particularly a Fury matchup. Minsc and Boo is a little expensive, so maybe I'll just bring in 2 Force of Negations. Yep. Okay, well, we have the old turn 0 here. I guess I'm gonna keep. They're mulliganing to 5, 4. All right. So now I have to think about, if I wait a second, I can keep a Spirit Guide. I think on their mulligan to 4, if they force, they'll have extremely little left. So I think I'm just gonna jam the Violent Outburst. How do you not do this? Okay, so they must have a Death's Shadow. Well, Force of Will or a land would be great draws here, or any kind of mana source to tap their Death Shadow with. Okay. Well, I'm definitely gonna not attack here. Maybe they're not on a Death Shadow strat. I think they actually aren't, these blue-black scam decks. In that they just have the one. They didn't fetch for the Watery Grave. Yeah, Grief. That is fine. Take my Endurance maybe to reanimate, but either way, not going to matter too much. Unless this is Death Shadow. Powder Keg. Wow, that's a good one. Okay. Alright, well, Force of Negation is not terrible. Simian Spirit Guide is not terrible. Reanimate. Yep, we'll force that. What I'd really like to do is just draw 1 more land here. A green source, really, of any kind. Not it. Not it. Although I can endurance now if they do go for a reanimation. Okay, Force of Will. Okay, there's a land. I don't really want to get wastelanded here. I may, I can just get the Minsc Boo down and draw one more land. Because like just like a fatal push would take out the endurance. I suppose if they go for the Sorin's Ransom, I'm gonna endurance in response. Although I can... They're getting Brainstorm here. Alright, time to endurance, I would say. I'm gonna want a blue source after all this. I guess I'm gonna get 2 tropical islands. They have Force of Will. Alright, well they're gonna get to resolve this Brainstorm. Dang. Well, that's probably the game. Well, we'll see, but I'm gonna get wastelanded. I guess there wasn't much chance of ever getting this Minsc to come down. Alright, Brainstorm's resolved. Surgically my Footfalls. Wastelanding me. Alright. Well, we just need to draw a bunch more manas and get this Minsc Boo into play. Force of Will. It's not a terrible one. Not mana. Oh, they get their Mystic Sanctuary back. Probably good. And a Grief. I guess I have to force this. Well, there's a mana source. There's another mana source. Okay. They just have a daze. Dang. that what they got back with the Mystic Sanctuary? I don't know. Alright, well. Endurance would still be a good draw. It's gonna be a bummer if I lose this mulligan to 4. But I guess that's the way it goes sometimes. There's a Murktide Regent coming in to close this game out. I guess I could have waited one more turn to try to resolve the Minsc and Boo and played around days. And I would have drawn the land. But yeah, there's not much I can really draw here. Alright. I guess I'm not going to concede until I have to. And I don't have to here. I could, in theory, string together a bunch of draws of ice. That'd be the way to make some magic happen. Alright. Yeah, all these spirit guides, man, it should be good against their daze strat. I just haven't been able to put them in a position where I can leverage daze, or leverage spirit guides against daze. Alright. Game 3 here. Yeah, I mean, this hand seems good enough. Okay. They get a basic island, and they're gonna ponder, sure. So we'll see what we draw here. They chose not to shuffle. Here's a grief. I think I'm just gonna let it go. Not sure what they would want to take here. Okay, they take the Violent Outburst, that's fine. Seagate Restoration. Alright, so I think I am probably going to ice them on their upkeep here. They're going to try to reanimate grief. I think I would like to force a will this. They have days, it's going to be good. They don't. Okay. Now I can endurance them. Do have Force of Will. Okay. So do they have like another animate here? Or they have Murktide Regent. I see. Yeah, that's good. They did draw the Rhinos though. Swamp Cycle a Troll. And a Watery Grave tapped. Okay. They're not going to attack. I'm gonna draw Force of Will. So I am gonna endurance them. And then hopefully we'll be in a position to maybe start attacking next turn or draw ice. Or maybe Minsc and Boo. They're gonna Swamp Cycle again, alright. I guess I could have waited on the endurance. Their last card does not appear to be reanimate. So I can ding them for 9 here. I think I have to. We just need to get in for 1 more damage here. Violent Outburst would be a pretty sweet one. Or ice. Or Minsc and Boo. So Brainstorm's on top, but now we can hit them for 7, but it must be a plan here. To Brainstorm into Brainstorm. Okay. Wow. Alright, well, yeah, they did 1 damage to themselves. I gotta think that not putting a Brainstorm on... Don't get to see what I was gonna draw. A Mystical Dispute. Well, that was not really gonna do it. Well, dang. Well, at least I got a win here against Blue-Black Scam, so that's 1 win against the Blue-Black decks. Count it. Alright. Okay. Round 5 on the play against Ocean Soul. And I believe they are a blue-white-red gamer. This hand. I think it's okay. I mean, it looks like yeah, this is the kind of thing they get up to. I've played against them before. 4th year Lingus. All right. I'm just not gonna not worry about the potential Blood Moon for now. Because I want to be able to cast Force of Negation with Simian Spirit Guide if I have to. Or just, you know, in general, if I get a basic forest, that will probably slow down my attempts to do so. But yeah, generally speaking, I'm okay. Like, suspending Crashing Footfalls on the play is a lot more exciting than doing it on the draw. So we just have to fade to Fairy. It'll be great to draw Mystical Dispute, Cascaders, but Minsc and Boo next turn would probably easily be the best draw of all. That would be insane. Yep. But yeah, the opponent may be doing some kind of double Q here, so I'll be waiting for a moment. Okay. I'm gonna get Tropical Island. Spend Crashing Footfalls, and pass the turn. Lotus Petal, okay, so they're doing something different here. Chalice on 0. Dang, I kind of have to force this. I should have forced negation. I gotta slow down here. I'm getting a little on edge. For a couple rounds of Magic. Still like to draw a Minsc and Boo or a Cascader. The good news is that I did adjust the sideboard planning for this initiative matchup. Okay, yeah, it's another Chalice on 0. Alright, you just can't argue with that. Well, now I have to draw Minsc and Boo. Mr. Perfect Draws over here. The thing about playing these Ancient Tomb decks is it happens every time where they have to double Chalice of the Void. But all right, anyway, that's not productive, but it has happened a lot. But anyway. I don't know, this Archon of Emeria. My best bet's to draw Minsc and Boo, right? Wow, I drew the Boseiju. Okay. We have an answer. Okay, now we get to Mystical Dispute this. I don't know, so I guess another Mystical Dispute would be a good draw. The land is not terribly exciting, but okay. So I'll get to Boseiju the Chalice end of turn. They have a fourth Earlingus for 2. Okay. So they get the Monarch here. Already at 9. So you have Minsc and Boo or Shardless Agent or a Violent Outburst. Those would be good draws. Or still a pretty darn low life. Force of Negation. No, that's not what we wanted. But Oh, I already played a spell this turn. I can't play the Elvish Spirit Guide. Of course. Something I can Force of Negate? Nope. Well, I'm pretty much dead. I guess, like, not even really like a Violent Outburst would do it, but not attacking doesn't really seem good either. Get the Monarch. A land here. I mean, the best thing I can do, though, seems like it's to hope to draw a Violent Outburst. Playing Elvish Spirit Guide, yeah, it doesn't do anything. Yeah, alright, so we're just dead. Alright. Okay. Well, I mean, I do have a plan for this matchup. And it looks like this. So maybe this will work. You know, I'm just realizing, I think that my sideboard doesn't have 15 cards in it. That's a little awkward, huh? But anyway. Well, this is what happens when you get up early and start jamming magic cards. Okay. Alright, this hand. Well, it has Fury and Force of Will and Boseiju. It is the kind of hand where almost any draw is good. I'm gonna begrudgingly keep it. Lotus Petal. Sure. Chromox. Sure. Archon of Emeria. Okay, so I don't think I need to Force of Will this. I can Fury it. Yeah, and I'm gonna do that right now. Okay. And then so theoretically the path would be clear for me to Rhino this turn. Thank heavens we do actually have the Boseiju again. Show me a blue card. Okay. Do I want to force this? I think so. Just gonna hope they don't like Ancient Tomb into Seasoned Dungeoneer here. Okay, well, it won the game anyway. Yeah, I don't know how I ended up with 13 cards in this sideboard. That is really crazy. So I could have the 4th Endurance for free. And maybe a 4th Force of Vigor, or Hull Breachers or Blood Moons were also cards I'd be interested in. But that's neither here nor there at this point. We're just gonna not worry about that and try to win game 3 here. Yeah, there's nothing else I would bring in this spot anyway, so we're good for this matchup. Okay. Well, this hand has Fury and Brotherhood's End. Brotherhood's End. I think I'm gonna keep. I mean, it's got answers for the chalices that they're gonna have. We got this Fury. I tell you what, this deck sure does a number on this deck is crazy to play, especially with a 13 card sideboard. All right, they keep on 6. Lotus Petal, City of Traders, and a Blood Moon. Okay. Well, okay, we have Force of Vigor. Let me get the Wooded Foothills into play. The Blood Moon is not a huge problem. Another Brotherhood's End. Okay. So the only problem is that my only green card to pitch is the Shardless Agent that I want to cast. How awkward. But I could just do nothing and get up to Fury here. There's a Violent Outburst. Oh man, what do I want to do here? Well, I definitely want to do it on the end of my opponent's turn. I have the Force of Vigor, so I think I can just... yeah. Play the Boseiju. They're up to 4 mana here. Here's a Caves of Chaos Adventure. Okay. Sure. Okay, so EOT. Force of Vigor the Blood Moon. Pitching Shardless Agent. Play Violent Outburst. So I'm just gonna play Brotherhood's End here. Take the initiative. Grab a forest. Play the forest. Okay. Okay, another Caves of Chaos adventure. Not so bad. We're forging it. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about this. And they're going to pitch a Fury. Can't do anything about that either. Actually, I guess I should have iced the Caves of Chaos adventure in response. Oh, another play. At least the cities of traitors are leaving the battlefield. And there's the Archon of Emeria. So let's ice the Caves of Chaos adventure. Okay. So I can Brotherhood's End and then fire the thing. That sounds good, huh? Yep. That's going to deal 3 damage. Take out the Archon of Emeria. Play fire. Forge up the Rhino token. Okay, so we got 2 Furies in hand against the other 1 spell. I can't imagine what they could do. Alright, the swords is fine. Now we get to deal 5 with a trap. What does Arena do? Isn't that something about fighting a creature? Yeah, definitely a trap. And yeah, let's play Fury. Okay. 4-1, folks. Okay, so we're on the draw against X-File for round 6. So the last deck they played was this blue, black, red tempo deck. So this is an interesting hand. So the Crashing Footfalls is basically a dud. We really need to draw a green source. In theory, we do have a couple turns to do it. And I guess this hand is maybe a little slow and unexciting on the draw. And uninteractive as well. If I had a green source, I'd probably go ahead and snap it off. Do have a couple turns to draw a green source. So we really want to draw a green source within 2 turns. It looks like I run 16. No, it's going to be 20 green sources with the Elvish Spirit Guide. The Crashing Footfalls is just kind of a mulligan anyway. Okay. Well, it's going to be the old any blue source is a good source. I think I'm going to put back Force of Negation and hope for the best. Turn 1 Delver. Alright, so against straight up Delver. Okay, well we drew a land. Okay, well that's pretty good. So next turn I can play the Shardless Agent with Force and be able to play around Force backup and play around Daze. So that's good. Hopefully they don't do something too crazy here. I guess even a Thoughtseize wouldn't be so bad. Ponder, okay. Okay. But if I do get to go like Shardless into Shardless here, I think we're in an okay spot. Miraculously. Drawing that land right away was very, very clutch. Okay, here we go. Attack for 1, 19. I don't mind drawing more lands at this point, so I'm not fetching. Okay. Hoping they're on a Daze land here. That would be awesome. Show me Daze. Nice. Pay for Daze. Maybe it just resolves. Wow, okay. It's good news. Lightning Bolt. Bobble. So their guys are going to be juiced, but we'll be attacking for 10. Then we have a Force of Will. So another blue card would be pretty swell. Just going to get in for 6 here. Yeah. Playing Murky Region, I have to force this. Hope they don't have anything else. Okay, that's good. So Fire and Ice now, or another Cascader, those are good draws. Okay, a Mystical Dispute, that's probably not a bad one. Oh, and it did shrink their DRC. That's certainly good news. All right, so it's a Ponder. Putting Wasteland in the graveyard. And I think I'm just going to Mystical Dispute here. So I think they still take a bunch of trample damage here and lose. I'm missing something. Well, I guess they bolt me. Okay, yeah, so they go to 2 here is what happens. And then they'll need something pretty good to win this turn. On their turn here. They gotta deal 8 and they already burned 1 bolt. Okay, whew. I don't even want to draw their card. Okay. Okay. So, Endurance for Minsc and Boo. Bring in some Furies for some Force of Negations. I don't think the last 2 Force of Negations are especially good. They do back up the Violent Outburst plan on my opponent's turn. I mean, 2 Furies is probably all that I want. Maybe on the draw here, Fury's probably going to be at its best. So maybe I'll do the 3 Furies and then just roll with maybe 2 Furies and 2 Force Negations if there's a game 3. All right, so we have a bit of a slower hand. But I'll go ahead and suspend the Crashing Footfalls and have some removal with Fire and Ice. At least I'm not jamming like Violent Outburst into Force of Will off a bunch of Spirit Guides. This is a much more reasonable hand against Delver. Grab this forest, suspend these rhinos. Okay. Brainstorm. Hitting in for 1. And another Ponder. The Brainstorm, okay? So I think I am just gonna untap here and try to fire the Delver. Mystical Dispute. Maybe that makes me want to wait. All right, we might be able to Mystical Dispute a Murktide Regent, or play this fire around Daze. If I play the fire and they do stuff, they could just get a Murktide Regent down, and then we're kind of in some trouble. Force of Will. Okay. Okay, attack for 3. I'm just going to allow this. What we're doing is a follow-up, not a... Another land, that's not the best. All right, well, I kind of want to wait, but I'm still in a weird spot with Murktide Regent. But I'm going to fire this thing on their upkeep and see what they want to do. Maybe I didn't play this well, because here I am with 3 mana and like not casting. Okay, Spell Pierce. 2 turns on these Rhinos. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and play the Mystical Dispute here. And try to use my mana. Alright, they're forcing. Okay. Another Delver. Okay. It's gonna come right down to it here then. It would seem. Okay, Violent Outburst. I think I got distracted there and didn't quite play this right. Yeah, but probably should have been jamming Rhinos sooner. But we ended up fighting over. I don't think I would have won that counter war anyway. But maybe this Delver doesn't flip. Sure did. I have a Force of Will, so I'm probably pretty boned here. Yeah. I mean, I guess Endurance or a Fire and Ice or something would be good. But we'll not have any of that. Well, maybe they won't attack. It's too bad I couldn't draw those Furies, but that's okay. And they can just attack for the win. That'll do it. Okay. All right, I think I'm just gonna run with the same sideboarding plan. Fury seems like it would have been crazily good. So the old super slow hand. All right, I think I'm gonna mulligan. Just a little big Shardless Agent on turn 3. Yeah. Well, this hand kind of is awkward too. This is like the opposite of like what you want too. It's the old. They're keeping with 7. It's the opposite end of the spectrum hands. Yeah, the hands with all spirit guides and the hand with all lands. We just had something in between these two hands. So the Force of Negation's not really all that great anyway. I just don't really think this is a winning hand either, and I think I'm just gonna go to 5. Alright. I mean, this is probably better than the other couple hands, at least. But, Alright, I think my best bet is probably to try to set up some kind of 2-for-1 with this Fire and Ice. and not walk into daze. I'll take it slow for a second here. Okay. All right, they're going for a brainstorm. Put another land in. Graveyard. Misty. Brainstorm. So maybe I do want to fire and ice here. And then if they daze, then we can jam Rhinos. I mean, Endurance. Okay, well, we're in there with Endurance, so that's a good start. To flying and back into this game. Brainstorm. Go ahead and Wasteland me. Bobble. Bobble. Pass. Force of Will. Okay. And another Brainstorm. Okay. Alright, it's unfortunate. We don't really have an answer to Murktide here, but they are lower on life. Getting lower. Well, if they don't immediately Murktide here, that'll be good news. They are kind of spinning their wheels with these cantrips, so maybe they're just not getting very far. Oh, here comes the Murktide. Bummer. Yeah, and we're drawing lands. So the only non-land spell I've drawn is Force of Will, but it doesn't matter. Counterbalance, sure. I'm gonna fetch up my Snow Island and hope to draw something here eventually. Fury. Well, they'll probably have a time trying to hit that one with counterbalance. Yeah. Yeah, and this tournament's going to come to an unexciting conclusion. I don't really have anything I can draw here. I guess I'll chump block Murktide. Submerge. I'm gonna force pitching Murktide, force back. And they've got a red blast here. All right, and that's the tournament here. Well, we might get into the top 8 on breakers, but I guess the first hand, I guess the all lands on the play with Cascader is probably okay. And I mulligan down, and it was brutal. My deck fought me there, but that's the nature of playing this deck. So we'll see what our final standing is. But at least 4-2 in the Swiss here isn't too bad. Well, we'll see what happens, how it shakes out. All right. Well, I finished in 10th place. But I basically lost every blue deck in 3 rounds. We did get lucky against that one player who like did the brainstorm and put themselves at 7 life with the Murktide region in play. And if they just hadn't done that, you know, I think they would have won. But also I was playing with a 13 card sideboard, and I certainly missed the 4th endurance. And well, it was interesting playing without any brazen borrowers. All right. Well, anyway, yeah. For next time, I think that this is the build I would run, featuring 15 cards in the sideboard. Although I do wonder about Inevitable Betrayal. It just seems like the metagame, like the best decks are the blue decks, whereas for a while, you know, it was like Reanimator. And so maybe those Inevitable Betrayals aren't, in fact, worth the slot. But if I were to keep the Inevitable Betrayals, then maybe something like this. Like the Mystical Disputes do seem important for all the blue spells. Some Brazen Borrowers to help with bouncing the Murktides. Obviously, you want 4 Endurance. I think the 3 Fury, 3 Force of Vigor, and Brotherhood's End strategy worked out pretty well, so I am happy about that. But I guess I'm not happy about registering 13 sideboard cards and basically losing to blue decks 3 times, just striking out. But I guess there were some other good wins, but I don't know. Well, 10th place, it is what it is. So yeah, we'll try to do better next time. All right, thanks for watching. All right.